welcome back to the Farmyard Garden. If you're new here, my name is Claire. Since the last video, I have actually emptied out the broad beans from this bed, and that took a lot longer than I expected. There were so many broad beans left still, and I actually spent, oh gosh, about 5 or 6 hours shelling them. I've got 3 great big bags full for the freezer, so have to say the broad bean harvest really surprised me. And in their place I have some more dwarf French beans. I have to admit, I didn't sow these ones. I had these from the local nurseries. Got myself a little bit behind on some succession sowing, and to be honest, I didn't want to put up more cloches here for brassicas, so I was trying to think what else could I put in there that I really love that is going to be fine without being netted. And French beans, I love them, so that's what came to mind. There is also this rather hastily made little mini wigwam or teepee. I don't want to offend anybody by using the wrong name. And in here I put some mange too. The nursery were giving these away practically because they are so overgrown. So again, they are nothing that I've sown. And I just thought they'll just fill this corner of the bed up, and they're so much easier to harvest than garden peas, aren't they? Because obviously you're just eating the whole pod. So I have some mange too here. Obviously these are my climbing bolota beans here. And then I've also emptied the pea bed because the Meteor had finished and also the Paco peas had finished. Now these are some direct sown wave wrecks that I've put in since then. So I was very careful to take the other ones out because I've got this wave wrecks in here as well. But these are some that I've bought again from the same nurseries. So cheap to buy them. And I've just shoved those in as another extra crop. So I'm really quite pleased with how these 2 beds are looking at the moment. I'm going to start lifting some of the shallots in the end bed because I have some more brassicas that are desperate to get out. So whilst I get started with putting these in, I'll take you back to when we were installing a new tap for my sister on her plot and putting in my new purchase that I bought from Malvern back in May. You can just see my saviour arriving in the background on the mini digger. He has a job to do today, and one of these jobs involves putting this beautiful tap on that I bought from RHS Malvern last month. But what Duncan's actually going to be doing is fitting another tap further along this fence line so that my sister has her own tap for her plot. Nothing to do with the fact that she keeps knotting up my hose, honestly. First job at hand then is to dig a bit of a trench and hopefully not take the fence with him. Look at that, isn't it gorgeous? Come on, Jenny Wren. Oh, I love her. Isn't it gorgeous? Obviously the water's not on yet, but you turn the tap on by turning the bird, which is why I chose the bird, because it felt the most comfiest in your hand to turn. This is what happens when you go to garden shows. It's magpie syndrome. I'm very guilty of it. See something shiny, or not shiny, but pretty, and I just can't resist it. So if any of you are feeling like being extravagant over a tap, I will put the name of the company just on the screen here now. It was £25, so I didn't think it was that expensive for a pretty tap on the plot. I love it. But it does mean that my poor sister gets my reject tap on her plot. She can have a posh tap if she wants one. We're going to Malvern again in September. He's just gone to turn the water on, so then we can check whether any of the pipe work is leaking. But maybe I should charge my sister more rent now she's got her own tap. Joke, she doesn't pay rent. Isn't it cute? I absolutely love that tap. I know it's ridiculous, but oh, it makes me smile so much. Anyway, I'm going to take out these first shallots that I sowed last year. You can tell looking at them that these are the ones that I put in March, and now the ones that were planted out in autumn have actually started lying over. So I'm going to leave obviously these ones to grow on a bit longer because they've not been in anywhere near as long. But I'm going to get these out and just try and put some of these brassicas in the bed around here, and eventually it will be a whole brassica bed. But for now, I'm just going to get and do what I can. And again, I want to thank those of you that reminded me that I should be using a trowel to lift these things and not actually lift them straight out by their neck so that I didn't damage them. I know these aren't particularly big, but these are looking pretty impressive, and I'm really pleased with some of these. Never grown shallots before, and I have to say, on a personal level, I prefer shallots to normal onions. What's this variety? What did it say? Griselle. 13th of November I put these in. Wow, they've been in a while, haven't they? They're so cute. Now look at the size of this bunch. They are absolutely huge for shallots for me. Wow. The roots on them. They're huge. Wow. Oh, they're coming apart. Look at the size of those shallots. I'm really, really pleased with them. Couldn't be more thrilled with how they've turned out. Like I say, I absolutely love shallots. I prefer them to normal onions, so I'm thrilled with this shallot harvest. And I'll definitely grow more shallots next year. I've sprinkled some bloodfish and bone all over the ground here, especially around the existing shallots, just to help them grow on a little bit before they're ready to be harvested. And I'm going to lay out these brassicas roughly. There should be space between these as well, because these will be fairly slow growing in comparison to when I'm hoping these will soon be ready. I love green sprouting broccoli, so I'm going to try and squeeze 4 of those down there. And then I have a couple of Savoy cabbages I want to put in here. Put one here and one in the middle there, and hope that the shallots finish first, and one there, and they should sort of fill that space up shortly. I think I can kind of make this spacing work for now. Probably a little bit crowded, but I'll get these planted up so I can get the cover back on. These green sprouting broccoli are a tender stem compact plant. They do say they only grow to 45 centimetres in height and width, but they are not the same variety that I'm growing in the tender stem broccoli Grow Along with Eli, which is the F1 inspiration from RHS. These are called deli stem green. I am honestly really quite thrilled with the size of some of these shallots. And I feel like I've done quite a lot in a quick half hour on the plot. I don't think I've officially mentioned this bench in any of my videos. It has appeared in a couple, but I've not really talked about it. Now, I've had this bench for months. We bought this bench back when we bought the archways to put on the plot, and we've waited until now to put it out. And this whole little area with these fruit trees was left to be a picnic area to have a bench on it. A few weeks back, myself, my sister and Duncan put this bench together. I have to say, this bench is a lot heavier than you think when you start to tip it over. The idea behind this bench was so that we could have picnics on the plot. Now obviously the weather has not played ball for that for a lot of the time, but last week we did manage to have a plot picnic. So there was me and my daughter and my sister and niece, and we had an absolutely amazing time. Brilliant. Brought the barbecue over here and we cooked up a bit of a feast after we'd had an evening on the plot. So I just love this bench. It's going to come in so useful for us. I'm thinking of actually putting one of the sort of table protector mats on it as well, sort of in springtime. So if the weather's nice, my sister and I could be sat here pricking out and potting on, and it makes it kind of a social hub for the plot. So brassica cage here behind me. I managed to get my first harvest the other day of the tender stem broccoli. So that was really, really exciting. And the tender stem broccoli made it to the barbecue as well that night. So that was absolutely brilliant. Now, since the plot tour last week, a few things that are really exciting have started to flower. My Ruby Eclipse sunflower is looking absolutely amazing. So let's go and have a look at those now. And isn't she an absolute beauty? I was so excited when she came out. Oh, she's beautiful. I think I might try and grow more of her next year. Really, really like her. I think she might be my new favourite sunflower. And I say favourite sunflower as someone who's never grown sunflowers before. But she's not the only sunflower that is in bloom right now on the plot, because the babyface sunflower is putting up its second set of heads, and they are absolutely beautiful, so dainty and so pretty. Here in the back of the fruit cage where I took those failed raspberry canes from is the first Black Magic sunflower, and isn't it absolutely beautiful? It doesn't particularly show up when you see sort of the dark foliage in the background of the trees in the distance, but it's absolutely stunning. And this is another multi-headed sunflower, so there are more flowers to come on this one. These ones next to it are the Copper Queens, and obviously they're not flowering yet, but I don't think they'll be long either. So it really looks like sunflower season is going well. This nasturtium variety called Bloody Mary is still proving to be quite the showstopper as well. I'm going to be saving a lot of seeds for this because I've had a few inquiries about seeds. I'm back at this sunflower though because I can't stop looking at it. I've got a busy couple of weeks coming up. While you're watching this, I will be at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. Next weekend, I am actually at Goodwood Festival of Speed. So if I don't manage to get a video out for next weekend, because I'm only home for a couple of days before I go off again, I will see you the week after on the 20th of July. Look after yourselves. Bye.